This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me right now is Evan Sohn from Recruiter.com, publicly traded company. The symbol is RCRT. Evan, welcome to SNN Live.
Oh, so great to be here, Robert. Really, thank you so much.
It's great to have you on, and thank you for joining me. So for our audience, let's start off with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, certainly. So the name of the company, as you can imagine, is Recruiter.com. Phenomenal name. And we are aggregating together all the thousands of small independent recruiters across the world under a common platform, giving them access to clients and technology that they would never have access to under themselves. So we're really disrupting the traditional staffing and recruiting space.
So I have to say, I've heard of Recruiter.com. You know, I'm sure our audience has definitely heard the name before over the years, but let's get a little bit of the history of the company. When did the company start, and how did the company evolve to where you're currently at today?
Sure. It's a great question, Robert. So fact of the matter is we get about 350,000 unique visitors a month. So if you put the word recruiter into Google, once the paid folks are finished, we're the first ones there. So the company really started a couple of years ago as a platform for recruiters, as part of like a community of recruiters, doing different things with them. And we really saw an opportunity, really last year, to really disrupt the traditional recruiting and staffing space. No one done that before. We saw that happen in other industries. Upwork was doing it for graphic designers and freelancers. Compass was doing it for real estate agents. And we really saw that if you look at the market, and it's a $148 billion market, the staffing and recruiting industry, that if you look at, once you're past the big players, you know, the Manpowers, the Robert Halfs, the Kellys, the ZipRecruiters, the Indeeds, there are thousands and thousands of these small and independent recruiters. And wouldn't it be great if we can aggregate them under a common platform? And that was really our theory. And we started with a transaction the first quarter where we acquired a phenomenal company out in Houston called Genesis Talent. We raised some money, cleaned up the balance sheet, and launched out really Recruiter.com. So we're less than a year old. And since then, not only have we signed incredible customers, but we also just announced this past week at the conference that our network is now over 20,000 recruiters in our network. So we started with about 3,000 at the beginning of the year and about 20,000 now. Really incredible to really watch this all grow. We're driving money for our recruiters. We're driving great talent for our customers.
Evan, why now?
You know, recently there was an interview with like the top 20 CEOs in the country, and they said to them, "What's stopping you from spending money? What's holding you back in 2020 from spending money?" Well, there were two reasons they gave. The first was political uncertainty. Nothing you and I could do about that one, right? But the second really was talent. 260,000 new jobs added in November, according to this past week's report. Where are you finding talent now? The best place to find talent is to use a recruiter to find talent. That is the only way that people are going to find, or the best way that people are going to find talent.
Right, it's hard.
It's really hard today. And by aggregating all these folks together, we're really not just going to make money for our recruiters, but really find great talent for our clients.
So let me ask you a question. What would you say makes the company, especially as it exists right now, really different and unique than some of your peers out there? You mentioned how you're looking to aggregate everybody into one platform, but I almost said why now again, but really, what makes it different and unique that puts you guys in a position to do that?
So, you know, so many times what we've seen are people trying to disintermediate the recruiter. I think the online job boards went out to disintermediate the recruiter. What we're really out to do is actually empower the recruiter. Right. And we're giving them access to not just clients, we're giving them AI technologies that we have our own, we've licensed others. We're launching an on-demand, recruiters on-demand product, so we can actually get them money even faster by being virtual recruiters for companies and tapping into that, what's called the RPO space, recruitment process outsourcing space. And we're launching a SaaS platform in Q1 to really enable businesses, not just large enterprises, but regular businesses to post up jobs, but leverage the recruiter to actually source and find and engage the talent. And I think by embracing the recruiter, we're doing something that no one else is doing.
So I'm not sure if you've gotten this question asked yet, but why hasn't one of your competitors, some of these bigger ones, taken some of the steps that you guys are doing right now?
You know, when you run a marketplace, and at some level we're a marketplace, there's a supply side and a demand side. Those that are successful are those that it doesn't cost a lot of money to focus on one of them. When you have to do both, sides, it's very, very, very expensive to balance out both sides of the marketplace. We're a small cap company, very expensive. But by having the name Recruiter.com, we really are an immediate attraction for those recruiters. And obviously, you've seen the growth that we've had on the recruiter side. We're really growing. Our referral basis is really growing. So we're seeing recruiters referring other recruiters to come to the platform. That really helps that side of the world grow. But we're also getting leads. We're getting hundreds of leads a month from enterprises by simply being Recruiter.com. So you could think of it almost as it was a phenomenal name that had no business behind it. And now through our execution, a phenomenal management team that we have in place, we're really set for really an incredible 2020.
Let's get to that leadership team. You know, you're on board there. What's your background? How'd you come in to join Recruiter.com?
So I'm the youngest guy in the space in terms of my time in recruiting. I just figured out how to spell recruiting like not too long ago. My background really is in disruptive technologies, disruptive platforms, starting with my own company back in the 90s in mobile computing. So I've really been in that space a while. You can call it disruptive technologies. You can call it new markets, new companies, new products. I've really done that a number of times in the sort of zero to hero phase a number of times. And as a sidebar, I actually run the largest hedge fund conference in the world, named after my brother. So it's the Ira Sohn Conference. We run it in 11 cities, 10 countries. So some of the top names in hedge funds. Anyone can Google Sohn Conference and they could see who I am. And I've always felt like this need to sort of bridge the gap between my technical disruptive experience and my financial experience. And this has really been a phenomenal platform for me to do that.
And from what you can tell me, what would you say are some of the company's goals and growth drivers for 2020?
That's great. Despite being a publicly held company, we're incredibly transparent with our investors. We have great communications with them. And when we started at the beginning of the year, we set out a path to really deliver three things: a path to scalable revenue, a path to profitability, and a path to liquidity. And that's really was our 2019 goals. And we've been killing ourselves to get there. But in a never-ending battle. I think our goals are for 2020 are really get the near-term goals, and we'll talk about near-term goals, is to get our run rate up to around $20 million run rate and get our network to over 25,000 people. And I really want to start making real money for recruiters. For me, that's going to be a real success. When a recruiter goes, wow, I'm making real money. We actually start to see resumes that say, elite member Recruiter.com. So we're seeing that already. But for us, making money for our recruiters is going to be a real goal for us in 2020.
And I almost feel remiss or weird in even asking you this question, but where can our audience go and find more information about Recruiter.com?
Strangest thing possible, right?
Yeah, right.
Gee, so...
Well, how about the investor relations page? How about that?
So that's really good. So excellent investor relations page. It's on Recruiter.com/investors. So, it's the brand already. So there you go. Excellent.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me again is Evan Sohn from Recruiter.com, publicly traded company. The symbol is RCRT. Evan, it was an absolute pleasure.
Likewise. Thanks so much, Robert.